Right,
What?
I'm recording as well.
I'm in the middle. Ross is top left. Shay is top right.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh yeah. Is everyone ready? Steady, go.
I've literally just counted us in.
You may
Count
go
me
again.
out.
Big
Right,
man.
I'm going to do this again. I swear. See, if you don't start this, I'm going to be madly. 3, 2, 1.
Clap, clap, clap. Here's the crack. What's up? What'll do with Ross? Hello and welcome back to Here's the Crack. This is episode. Oh, I don't even care anymore. I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry that someone in this group has a bit of flair about them,
A bit of flair.
a bit of creativity.
Jesus Christ.
It doesn't go too far, does it?
A few of the most flaired of us, we're all doomed.
Welcome back to another episode of Here's the Crack. Episode lockdown number 2 vibes. Loving it.
15.
We're not even at lockdown number 2. We're just kind of in a limbo state, but we're still doing it virtually.
I'm loving it.
How's everyone's
We
week
are
been?
on our way.
Like we said last week, it's Tuesday. Stop asking that question.
How was everyone's last week?
Is this the flurry you're talking about? These flurry questions.
How's everyone's Monday been?
Tuesday?
Well, it was Monday yesterday.
Tuesday's not even over yet.
Do you know, yesterday I woke up and I did honestly feel like I was so motivated. Like I was messaging news and I was like, got so many ideas for the podcast tomorrow. I sat down, I done like 2 hours of uni work. And then today I went on my lecture. And then afterwards, a certain person was like, do you want to play Warzone? And as soon as I stopped playing Warzone, I just hit that brick wall
Verdansk.
where I just couldn't have been bothered to do anything.
That's just you being weak-minded.
I know.
Like
That's the way.
I finished Warzone and I cleaned the house and went for a run.
Well, to be fair, I finished Warzone, emptied the dishwasher for Mother Bear, and then went to run, and then came back and helped my dad tidy up the leaves in the yard. So I actually didn't really have time to sit down and do any work, but yeah, here. That's the thing. I don't think I could ever work from home. I think I would find too many things that needed to be done.
Yeah, I'd be trying to do my work and also play stuff at the same time. So I'd have like Warzone on one monitor and then my work on the other. Multitasking.
Are you just flexing because you have 2 monitors?
I don't anymore. I've only one now.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, I thought we were going off there.
Why do you only have 1 monitor now?
Give the other one to Aoife. She's working from home now, so.
Oh, generosity.
Also, women for you, they just take your happiness away.
Take everything off you.
Just take it all away. Right,
So-
Ross, let's kick it off then.
Yeah.
Ballymena again.
What's been happening in Ballymena this week?
Let's go.
I feel like I'm like some wee news correspondent from Ballymena.
Well, you're getting there.
You're our Trisha Takanawa of Ballymena.
You're our Stephen Nolan.
Oh.
This week there hasn't been a while lots happened apart from I physically saw it with my own 2 eyes. Youths in Galgorm. Now may I add that the Galgorm area of Ballymena is kind of seen as a more sort of like a, you know, if you live in Galgorm, you kind of like in one of them areas where it's a nice neighborhood, like, you know, it's not.
These are plush.
You know, you have
class.
Galgorm Resort and Spa. You have the golf course.
If you live in Galgorm, you're a spa.
Yeah. So me and Adam were driving through Galgorm the other night, and they're on about, I think it's a Saturday. Yeah, Saturday night. It was Halloween night. And there were about 40 youths on the footpath and roads just running around. We were like, youths. So we just drove past them. And they were all like shouting. And there's this crazy trend going around now. I don't know whether you've seen this on TikTok. I didn't think it breached into Northern Ireland, but I saw the first person doing it on Saturday night. It was one of these youths. But what's the crack with these?
Sorry, you're a 35 or 40.
What's the crack? Have you ever watched New Girl?
Youths.
Have you ever watched New
Yeah.
Girl? Yeah,
Yeah.
Schmidt calls them youths, so I'm watching New Girl at the moment. So, but anyway, I digress. What is the crack with these young people now on their bicycles doing wheelies?
Oh,
And
I've seen
then
this too.
going
Yeah.
right up to someone and at last minute going and swerving away. Is this like a trend? Like,
Yeah, I've seen this too. Yeah.
oh my, there
I
was
seen it. I seen it on the internet, and then I didn't think it had came into Northern Ireland either until I was in KFC drive-through like a few nights ago, and there was a few youths cycling through the KFC car park doing that.
Have you seen this, Thomas?
No.
All right, so have you ever seen videos on YouTube or TikTok where it's basically like someone's lying in the middle of pavement and all these people like wheelie up to them and then at the last minute pure swerve away?
Right.
So this happens, they're all on bicycles. And basically this was happening. There was about 40 of these youths all walking and like, you know, having a good time. Obviously not socially distancing, which is where the problem lay here. But then there was this one kid on this black bicycle just cycling and then going up to people at the last minute, just going, oh, look at there. I was like, why? Like, why be that one person? So anyway, me
To
and
be
Adam.
fair though, it's pretty skillful. Like,
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't do it to save my life. I couldn't do a wheelie.
I could never do a wheelie on a bike. No.
What was it? What's this got to do with the cops when they show up?
The only time I've ever successfully done a wheelie was whenever I was at my pinnacle of I gained too much weight and I got on the quad that I used to have when I was like 12. I sat too far back on it and nearly went through the backyard wall.
Oh
That was, but yeah. Anyway, we went to Tesco and got a few bits and pieces and then came back and we thought we'll go back through Galgorm again and see like if everything's kind of calmed down. As we arrived, all the youths were in front of like the community.
Did you go to Tesco to get sweets?
We
So
went-
when you drove past, you could offer the kids sweets.
Yeah. No, we went to Tesco.
I'll give you a wee lift home. You don't want to be taking that bike all the way home.
Did you bring your van, Ross?
We went to Tesco because I was cycling the next morning and I'd ran out of the wee gel things for when you're cycling.
That you weren't wheeling up
Oh
on your
my God.
fucking £1,000,000 bike.
And so we went back into Galgorm again and all the youths were out the front, but then we saw the cops. The cops arrived and we were like, oh, there's a bit of a commotion here. And this is how, like, I don't know about yous, but like I've always said this, like I was a peer mentor like in like 6th year for like all the wee first years joining our secondary school. And I always came home and like told mum and dad, I was like, see them wee kids, they're so like boisterous, they're so like you know what I mean, like they're so like
What type of school did you go to?
they're so but
They're
like
so boisterous. What does
do you-
that mean?
like do you remember whenever you were in
If I went home and said to my ma, those kids are so boisterous, she would just look at me like with two heads.
But
But,
like,
like-
Ross went to a private school and then every other
Holy
kid came in.
shit.
But like, do you know whenever you were younger, like whenever you were in first year, like
Yeah.
would you have like talked back to any of the older ones, or would you have been like me and pure walking around ready to get your head kicked in?
I wouldn't say I was ready to get
Like,
my head kicked
I
in.
was so scared.
I would say in first year you're just a bit quiet because
Yeah.
like, you don't really know everyone, but like in second year and all, probably
Like,
would've
see all
been- I wouldn't
the
have been. I wouldn't
see
have been
all-
boisterous. So
see all the young people, like they're so like, no, they're not all of them. You just tarring everybody with the same brush here, which I don't like. But
you
like,
know
a
know
good-
you're starting to sound like
Stephen Nolan. But like,
in
It's
10
like-
years you'll be going around the Holy Land. Who do you see?
but
With
like,
these boisterous youths out on St. Patrick's Day with their bottles of bow.
but like they're more like confident, if you know what I mean, which I suppose is a good thing. Like, do you know what I mean? But at the same time,
Yeah.
it's like you would have been like a lot of them. Like I remember there was the other fella who was peer mentoring us. Like 3 weeks in, was like, oh, said to this wee kid, like we'll call him James. Is like, oh James, what were you doing last night? And he goes, oh, your ma. And I was like, what? Like I couldn't believe what I'd heard this wee first year. I was like,
Boisty.
lad, that's so boisterous. You know what I mean? But like, it just like, I literally was just standing, like, it was like on my phone, like I was waiting for them all to like go to their reassembly or something. And like Chris walked up and was like, oh, what were you doing last night? And he was just like, oh, your ma. And they all just burst out laughing. And I was like,
Burn.
oh, like, that was
It's like-
crazy. Like whenever I was
It's
in
like, you know that meme with the guy in the rap bottle and he's like, boom, bap, bam. It's just all his mates just go like, oh.
But yeah, but like
What has this got to do with this Ballymena?
the point I'm trying to make, the point I'm trying to make is that young people are so much more confident, because like me and Adam seen the police, right? And we thought, oh, we'll go and see what the crack is. So we drove around and like sat in the car park and like put the window down, and the police car pulled up and the guy got out, and you could see them all being like, you at the police and all running. And then we were kind of like, right, this is getting heated. And then we drove off. Like, so we were like, no. But then I was discussing it with a fella in the gym the other day, and he was like, oh no, I was there. He was at the chippy or something. But apparently there was like all of them, the police were like, what are you doing here? And like a few of them were like, oh, wouldn't you like to know what's it to you and all this here? And the policeman was like, what's your name? And apparently one of the wee girls was like, oh yeah, I'll give you my name. My name's like, I'm pure tried to like think up of a name and all. And then apparently one of the wee boys got lifted because he had fireworks on him. And like as they were bringing him into the police car, all the kids were just like, you're supposed to run from the cops and all this here. Like, what? Like if we'd have been out playing football or something whenever we were younger, and the police came around and got out of the car and asked us what we were doing, I would have kicked us. Even now, when I get like pulled over at like a checkpoint or something, like even over COVID, when they were out like checking why you were like heading in a road. I remember there's one day I was in the car with mum going to get groceries, and the police pulled me over, and the girl came to the window and was like, oh, why are you out? And I was like, I'm just getting groceries with my mum. Like, I pure shot my pants.
You start crying and all.
But like, that's so weird, isn't it? That youths are so like.
My God.
Was they doing anything wrong though? Why did the cops?
Well, I think the reason why they were called was because there was like literally 40 of them all gathered, and I would say some Karen probably came along and was just like, but like, little do they realize that literally big bojos came out and literally said, oh, here, yous are allowed to gather in 40s in your school anyway, so it doesn't make a damn difference when they're out. You know what I mean? Outside like literally it doesn't matter. I think mainly probably the reason why they were called because it was Halloween night and they wanted to check that they didn't have any like fireworks or anything.
It don't make sense.
They're not like you, Shay, up in Katy throwing fireworks at folk.
Why did you not come down? I was out throwing rocks and shit at the cops.
Throwing rocks.
Being boisterous. Yeah, I was like, I had bags of rocks down at the bottom of my road waiting for you to come, and you never came. He's let me down. I can't believe you actually thought I was doing that.
Shay,
you know what
on Halloween night, Shay put in the group chat basically say, oh, Thomas, are you coming out to throw fireworks? I'm in Katy here. And Thomas is like, oh no thanks, I'm in Belfast. And I was genuinely reading the message going like, is Shay actually out throwing fireworks?
You hear like Shay is so boisterous.
I said to Thomas the other day, I was like, was Shay actually out like throwing fireworks? Like, did you not go out with him? And Thomas is like, I think he was joking. I was like, oh.
Me and Shay were the ones who sold the fireworks to the boys in Ballymena. We're the wholesaler.
But not all kids are bad.
No,
like
the Ballymena ones.
We all seen that child who went viral there the other day. From where was he from, Shay?
Young Dara O'Neill from Tyrone. I don't know whereabouts in Tyrone it was. I think he's 4 years old, isn't he?
Aye,
but he's a busy young man, so he is.
Busy boy.
That video went pure viral.
That's because Niall Horan shared it.
Oh,
well, you did. You didn't care about it until you seen Niall Horan.
I know, but I'd seen like this thing on Instagram, like some woman was like, "Oh my god, can't believe Niall Horan shared this," and then I seen it in his story, like, and I was like, I didn't realize that's who he's wrong about.
I seen a news article today to say that he'd actually found Rona Michalski, because in the video he's like, I've got to go buy a digger off Rona Michalski, or he's got to, I forget. In the video it's so funny because he's like, I'm going to go down to Dublin and buy myself a digger. 20 quid will do him. It's like, but yeah, apparently like the most concerning thing was the fact that he kept on saying about this guy Rona Michalski. And the mum was like, yeah, who the heck's Rona Michalski? And then this guy that he went and met, Ronan Mikulski, the other day, as if he was a celebrity.
He's definitely been listening to some people, some older people talk.
No.
There was a bit at the end where he was like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna go down to Spring End and clean the windows, but sure, I'll do it for nothing. I'll not take no money for doing that now." He's heard it all before.
It's such an old like Northern Irish thing. Like
Yeah.
it's just so like it's like some old like sort of traditions, and like they're literally kids are just listening to that. Like such as like so. You hear that so much, like if your dad's or someone's talking to someone and they're like, "Oh, sure, come down and power wash the patio for me there next week. I'll throw you 50 quid." And he said, "Oh, I'm not sure. I wouldn't be taking any money for that. I couldn't go home to the mother and tell her that I took money off you for power washing the patio."
Or something like that. No way, boy.
Jesus,
but
But Lucinda's wee nephew, he like hangs around his granda so much, and his granda's really like old school, like Cullybacky, like Ballymena, really like country bred, and like talking to him is so funny. Like he was obsessed with tow bars there for a while. Like if your car didn't have a tow bar on it, it was no good. Like, and then his dad got a Tiguan and he called it the Tigwagon. And she had a tow bar on it, and I was brought out to look at this Tigwagon with the tow bar on it, and I was like, where children just pick up on things so easily. Like.
Cheers, boy. She's some tow bar, I tell you.
Better than them standing at the side of the street shouting at the police. Hey,
Oh,
would you like
yeah,
to know my name? I'll get my dad on you.
What about the selection tonight?
Is it gonna be a juicy one?
Ross,
what time is it up?
You're our political
Are you gonna watch it?
expert. What do you think?
I'm not gonna watch an election. I'm not gonna watch an American election. Like,
what do you think, Ross?
It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, isn't it?
yeah, it's like the NFL basically. It'll be on late at night, but it won't be very exciting.
Digs.
America's preparing for all. America's preparing for all out. For all out havoc, as far as I can see. They're boarding up like New York and Chicago and Atlanta and all. Like they're boarding up all the shop front doors and all because they're just preparing for riots.
Is there gonna just be riots if Trump is elected? Or
no, they're damned either way. Like if Trump wins, all the people will come out like and just riot because Trump's back in the seat again for another 4 years. And if Biden wins, all the Trump supporters. So it's just who's worse. And in my opinion.
If he's been following it, like, do you know much about it?
Who would you rather? Whose supporters would you rather come after you?
I would. Well, did you not see that video the other day? The Trump supporters trying to ram the Biden bus off the road.
No.
Like the Biden bus was on its way to Texas, and the next how I saw it was because Trump tweeted it and goes, "Oh, I love Texas," and it was a video of these 4 pickup trucks.
Did he tweet that after they tried to run off the road?
Yeah. So Trump tweeted it.
God.
Trump tweeted it and was like, "I love Texas," and it was basically the Biden bus was on its way in for like their speeches or whatever they do. And these 4 like pickup trucks came along with Trump flags in the back of them, basically tried to like ram it off the road.
Was he in it?
Has such a nice ring to it though, doesn't it?
What?
The Biden bus sounds
Sounds
Biden
good.
bus. Sounds like some party bus that you book for a night out. Book the Biden bus.
Have you seen any of the advertisements, or not the advertisements, but like the adverts for like each candidate?
No.
I've been watching the NFL this past while, and there's been some of the promotional adverts have came on during it, and Trump's ones are mostly just slaying Biden. There was one, and it just showed Biden kissing that wee girl, and that wee girl like turning away from him. Have you seen that video?
Yeah, there's been some really
like that was in
creepy photos of Biden. Like.
Trump has used that in his like presidential campaign, like his advertisements on live television to try and get votes against Biden. I love the way American politics works. Like, it's great.
It's just
But,
like, do
they're
they actually like talk about policies and stuff, or do they just rip each other apart? Like?
so I
No, they
think
just
they're
rip each other apart. Like,
I think what they're both coming in for is pretty much like, obviously Trump's more like jobs in America and America first and all this here, and Biden's a bit more like we need health care. Like he's pure like Obama. He's pure like Obamacare. Like everybody needs health care and all that there. Whereas Trump, but the thing is, what pushes back Trump is Biden will have more support because there'll be more influential people who'll support Biden. Like
People are just
Lady Gaga was on speaking the day and was like, vote Biden, like don't vote Trump. Because like
people are just locking you to vote Biden just because they don't like Trump. Like it's not
Yeah.
as even because Biden's any good, if you know what I mean.
well, Biden's 77 years of age. Like
that's one of Trump's slogans.
Yeah.
Not slogans, but that's one of his selling points as well. Biden will probably be dead before he finishes.
but effectively, like Trump's just typical. Like he just, in my opinion, like even with regards to the whole climate change thing, like it's just he just comes out with the wrong thing and pisses off. Like, did you not hear what he was saying about the your boy John McCain? He was like an American prisoner of war, and basically he was like he was fighting somewhere, and basically he was taken in as a prisoner of war, and then after he was released, he was labeled as like a war hero. But Trump basically came out and was like, he's not a war hero. He's like, I don't classify anybody who get like he's a war hero because he's captured, and basically said that he doesn't respect or see anybody as a war hero because they were captured in the first place. Anybody who gets captured isn't a war hero.
Yeah.
And it's like, how would that then even, like, if you're an American citizen, like you would have to really love like your country and your president to go and fight for their army, and then the president's just like, oh, if you get captured, you're not a war hero. So if you get captured and tortured, like, I don't know, it's just a bit strange. It's just, but like there was a thing I seen the other day, and it was an American soldier who got taken into a Nazi camp back in World War II, and like they done an interview with him, and they showed him the clip of Trump being like, he's not a war hero because he was captured, and your boy just started crying and was like, Trump's never been in a Nazi concentration camp where literally he wakes up every day starving and cold and waiting for people to come in and beat him up. Like, it's just so, like, he just does no favors for himself. But there's going to be a pure.
Will Biden win, do you think? Is it like a huge favorite? Biden?
I don't know. I don't know.
Biden's favorite.
All the celebrities seem to be backing him.
Yeah,
like I don't follow it, but I know, like I follow like celebrities on Instagram. Like, I can always see like things going on about it.
That's the thing. Biden will be
Hillary
more
was favorite last year, though.
Yeah, but Biden will be more favorited amongst.
Or not last year. Sorry, last
election
term. Yeah.
Yeah, but Biden will be favorited amongst more influential people, which will make people then think, oh, Biden's going to win it. But I would say it's pretty, like, I don't know. But they're talking basically that if Biden wins, Trump, there's a strong possibility Trump's going to face like jail, basically.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like, is he actually? See,
because
he doesn't say, like, there was that whole case a while back and all about him rigging the election, and like nothing was really done because he is president. Like, a lot of things was like a lot of stuff not sort of like buried, like, in a way.
I think basically he can't, because he's president, he's immune to a lot of stuff now. But there was a while back there, I'd screenshotted this earlier on, so I was reading it, but he was allegedly dealing with Ukraine's president. So apparently there was a promise that the White House basically made to Ukraine that they would give them 391 million in military aid. But then apparently Trump was basically withholding that military aid money because he wanted to basically the Ukraine president to launch an investigation into Joe Biden and his son. Because I think Biden's son is on some your boy Hunter, I think he became a board member of some Ukrainian energy company or something, while Biden was vice president for Obama. So I think he ended up releasing the 391 million to Ukraine, but I think he, after like someone whistle blew on him, but I think it was withheld because he was trying to basically dig up dirt. So that's technically seen as like extortion.
Yeah.
So I would say, and then plus the mountain of other things that he's done. Like there's literally a website you can go on to, which is a timeline of every time Trump has messed up. It's crazy.
We'll move on to these Instagram questions.
Yes.
Well, one of the questions was from Trains in Northern Ireland, and he says, who do you think will win the US election, Trump or Biden? And he said Trump will win, hashtag Trump 2020. What do you think?
I think Trump's going to win it. I just think he's going to pull it out of the bag and win it. Well,
Ross,
by the time this is posted,
sorry.
people will already know, so...
Yeah,
people will already know. I think
probably
Trump's,
go out
Trump's going to pull it out of the bag. Like.
Ross, what do you think?
I don't know. I would say Trump is a safe bet at the moment, but I don't know. I think it's going to be like a pure. You ever watch The Purge?
Yeah.
I think there's going to be some purge type stuff happen, because have you seen the videos of in America and all of them boarding up the?
Yeah, I seen them there earlier.
And there was a girl I seen on TikTok earlier on, and was like, she was basically like installing locks on her door, and she was like, I live 4 blocks away from the White House. She was like, literally, and then she looked out her window and it was the street and it was all like boarded up, and she was like, I'm preparing for the worst and all. Like, imagine that.
Oh, I'll say.
I think they're overreacting.
I don't know. I think that it's just the damage, but there was not a load of damage last time Trump was elected.
I don't know.
Was there? Could just be a load of hype.
Not many people came to the rallies, but like there was I was watching a Sky News thing the other day, and everybody was in buying guns. Nothing new there from America, but
America.
Not another one to the collection.
I'll say Biden will win, just
because you always need another gun.
Different.
If you were living in America, would you like if you were an American citizen, like say you went over to America and got like American citizenship and all that there, like would you buy a gun? Or would you still be like, no, it's wrong?
I don't think you'd need one. Like seriously?
I'd buy one because
you can.
Everyone else has one.
Yeah.
Not because I can, not because I want it. Like there's that many other people with guns in America. It has got to the stage where it is probably safer to have a gun over there. Because there's so many other
America
with guns.
America, do they not have something where like if someone's on your property and you shoot them and kill them, like it's not like you haven't like they were trespassing?
It's like the First Amendment
like
or something.
Like if someone broke into your house and you killed them, it's not like against the law, but like if it happened over here, you'd probably be.
Yeah, if you there's something where if someone breaks into your house over here and you like defend yourself, so say you like hit them or like restrain them, I think that's fine. But say if someone was like coming up say someone was coming up your stairs to like attack you and you hit them with like a lamp or something and they fell and hit their head and died, I think you could be done for that over here.
Moving on.
Wasn't there a story about some girl who was in her kitchen cooking and someone tried to rob her house and they fell through the skylight and fell on a knife and she got sued for this?
What?
How random is this?
Did you hear? That was a while. I remember a while ago hearing that.
What the fuck?
Because your guy was trying to burgle the house and he was climbing along the roof and he fell through a skylight and fell on a knife.
I was reading a thing the other day and it was this guy, and he'd basically been accused of killing his girlfriend, I think it was, but it was from over here. I don't know the names or anything, but I was reading it it came up in a conversation at work, and then I started researching into it. And his defense was basically like his fingerprints were all over the place, and I think she was found dead, and I think his defense was basically like she was trying to get him to stay the night, but he said, no, I can't stay the night because I need to go home and wash the car. It's like that is such a northern Ireland thing. Like, oh, love, I can't stay the night. I need to go home and give this car clean.
I'm
But like,
chatting the fade in the morning.
I need to go see Rona Mikelski.
Moving on. There's a few questions about the election, and we've sort of covered that. Chrissy Mack, Shay, where's your OnlyFans?
It's coming. Don't you worry, kid.
You
I
can
need to get
earn
some
some dough
first.
with OnlyFans.
I don't think anyone wants
Should
to
we
say
look up
that.
some of the figures?
You can earn
What?
some dough.
Well,
Maybe crystals, like, but
just me and Chris in a chat.
it depends how much you want to charge them. Like, I suppose you could make some
Just
money
do.
out
I
of
can
it.
just do FaceTime with them. Create the OnlyFans.
I think that'd be so weird. Like, see it like if you're like on one of them websites and like some girl from Northern Ireland was on it. Like, I think everything would be going really well till she spoke, and then it would just be like, what? Like, imagine that. It's like, all right, honey, you here for a good time? You'd be like, no.
God. Not everyone in Northern Ireland has a Belfast
I
accent.
got the
Like.
yeah.
I imagine someone from Ballymena.
They don't have phones though. They don't have internet out there.
They're dial up and film.
One woman build.
Balaforn is the OnlyFans. Sorry, Balaforn is OnlyFans top earner. She made $1 million through revenue on OnlyFans in their first 24 hours of being on the platform. She
Holy
became a
shit.
millionaire in 24 hours. Well, if she had no money, she'd be a
she was
millionaire.
already a millionaire.
Sure, you were saying there. What were you?
Whatever.
What were you saying there, Thomas, the other day about your girl on that Sidemen thing?
What? Oh yeah, like that there Jack Mate podcast, there was a girl on it, like, and she was saying she has this thing on it where it's Patreon. I don't think it's OnlyFans, but she has this thing where it's like the highest, like it's like buys pair for whatever, and like the most expensive things called the daddy tier, like, and it's £4,000 a month, like. But it doesn't have a subscription, or it doesn't have like a description or nothing. But like in like that there, she was on that like Tinder thing, you know, the Sidemen Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
And Bazinga said like, oh, if you swipe right, I'll pay like whatever your ass thing is. And then she swiped right, and he obviously went and paid it then. But like she was saying that there's a few ones who pay it and like they just don't know what to do with it. They're sort of just like, oh, just paid to see, just to basically be able to say you don't know. People just have too much money. We're running out of time when this of 5 minutes left of this meeting before it ends.
Some more questions. We're actually
Okay,
getting
so-
questions through
anyway.
Instagram, which is great.
Yeah, thanks guys. Keep it up.
Keep the questions
Moving
coming.
on. One woman build goes, Nolan wants to know when you lot will get off his case.
Never. Seen that thing on TikTok the other day where you replied to was a bit like just
But
typical.
like that wasn't even about Nolan. That was just such a stupid comment. Like. Are you stupid? Are you an idiot? Yes, you are.
I
He
seen
basically was saying that, like, what was he saying? That all the he was like, you done a tech on the podcast last week. You said that, what was it? If Nolan really cared about people going in without masks, he would have stopped them before they went into the shop. And this guy's commented going, oh, a student complaining about someone or like
earning money. It's called
yeah,
getting a job. You should
said,
try it.
Yeah, you said
I had basically made the
if he
point.
wasn't getting paid, he wouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, a student complaining about someone earning a living or making a job. Maybe he should try it sometime. And he just got fucking triggered, like, because it's just like, I hate these people who just think students do nothing but drink.
You don't want to
it's
blow.
like-
You don't want to blow your own trumpet, like. But us three are students, and like literally every single day that we're not studying, we're working to try and
Yeah.
earn money to pay for being a student.
Exactly.
Like, you're living up in Belfast. Like, do you think that your rent is just falls from the sky? Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's just so like, you've Shay over there like flat out working Like, do you think he'd be able to afford the amount of donuts he's eating there if it wasn't for if it wasn't for that tasty OnlyFans income? Like,
She's munching on a wee donut here.
Shay, next
No.
time you're bearing your arse cheeks on camera for your OnlyFans for that $5 a month fee, you can think of that comment and say it's worth it in the end.
If you keep eating them donuts, your ass won't fit on the screen.
You get that.
Sorry.
You get that fat booty.
WAP.
Any other questions?
Calvin Ward asked, have you ever had any paranormal experiences? I know Ross has a story to tell, so we'll end it on this. 3 minutes left. Go.
Have you never had paranormal experiences before? Like, none of it's even something freaky that you can't even... I find that so hard to believe. I don't really... I don't think I really... I don't think I believe in ghosts or anything. Like, I think there would have to be concrete, factual... But I love watching all them ghost shows.
I don't know. Really,
But like...
Cup of tea, like.
That's
I
what
love
I was...
watching horror movies. I
No,
watch
you
horror
see...
movies on my own.
No, I don't watch horror movies. See, like Final
hate horror
Destination.
movies.
See Final Destination, all that there. I think there's something very,
That's
very...
not a horror movie.
No. Final Destination's like a comedy that those things even happen.
No, there's something wrong with folk who want to sit and watch that. Like,
That's not even a horror
Final
movie.
Destination's bad. You want to see some of the shit she has made me watch, like.
me, Final Destination is like anybody. Like, I watched a scene from Final Destination where a girl got a stone put through her flipping face by a lawnmower. His lawnmower spat out a stone. And then this other one, which came up on my TikTok, unknowingly, where a girl done a backflip off a flipping gymnastics thing and flipping broke her face. Just ended up like that. Like, that's horror. Like, that's not.
That's unrealistic, though. It's funny because of how far-fetched it is.
No. The only
paranormal
paranormal experiences I have ever had was whenever I was really young and I was at a wedding, a neighbour's wedding, and I went round and drunk out of everybody's glasses and got incredibly drunk. And whenever my mum and dad realised that I had been drinking out of everybody's alcoholic glasses, they took me up to bed to basically put my messy head in the toilet to boke. And the whole night I spent telling mum that I could see a girl. This was in Ballygally Castle, the wedding was in, which is apparently haunted, but apparently mum was really freaked out because the whole night I just spent like telling mum, like, I see a woman in the corner of the room. Like, there's a woman staring at me in the corner of the room, and mum was always like, I remember that night it was like there was very little sleep done. I was like, that's creepy.
What age are you?
4. But I was
Damon at 4.
I was pissed. Like, I went round and drunk out of everybody's glasses. Like I was just literally like, my mum and dad were like, right, go on to the dance floor and, like, you know, have a good time. Like, it's all neighbours and stuff. This was probably at the time, like 15 years ago, or not 15 years ago, 16 years ago, 17 years ago now, where you could let your child run about and not really have to worry that they're going to get abducted. But like, I was just running about drinking out of everybody's glasses and came back to the table about half an hour later and was just blitzed.
Blitzed at 4.
You knew right what you were at.
My therapist said this is the root to my problems. I'm joking.
Panamanian born and bred.
From 4 years of age, loving the juice.
Bang, we're back. Cut out there. Technical difficulties due to this whole Zoom shit. But yeah, we're doing our best.
So none of you have
ended it here, and
none of you have had any paranormal. Do you want to get a paranormal experience? Do you want to go and stay somewhere or go explore somewhere that's haunted?
We're gonna go to.
We should go revisit this place that you went to
and just steal people's drinks like you did.
Ballygally Hotel or Bally wherever.
I think maybe one of the drinks was laced with something.
We should go camp out there, and if we went to camp out there, we'll bring a few drinks with us, and Ross would be sneaking into our tent in the middle of the night, stealing our drink, being like, "Oh, it was the ghosts." I swear to God.
As Thomas would say,
the ghost made me do it.
As Thomas would say, that drink was laced with LCD.
LCD. Quality.
Oh, yeah.
Ross had an idea about
a one-time thing. Ross engaged his brain cell.
No, well, like one of the things I want to do in this podcast are like, YouTube or whatever we're doing is like promote like Northern Irish creators and like Northern Irish businesses and stuff. And Ross basically had this idea. So take it away.
Oh, am I explaining? I thought you were going to explain it.
Well, it's your idea, like.
I had basically mentioned I should just have thrown in the sound recording that I put into our group chat. I basically had an idea that we'll do like, I think we'll run in this podcast, we'll maybe run with the whole question thing, because we are starting to get questions through Instagram, which I never actually thought would happen. But now people are actually starting to ask questions, which is very cool. But I had also made, maybe not do it every week, but I had made a point of basically saying that if there was any small businesses, creators, because we did have a guy, I forget his name, it's left me. He had basically messaged and said that, you know, if we needed any help with the podcast, which is very much appreciated, just at this present moment in time, we don't. But like at the same time, he had sort of said that he had his own Twitch and all that there. And look, at the end of the day, I think I can speak for every one of us by saying that whenever we started the podcast, we were very scared, because we didn't know what people would expect.
Scared.
Shay up there
So
on the right.
So scary.
Shay being an OnlyFans
Spooky.
superstar. He too is scared of the fame.
Oh, I'll never forget my first time taking my top off. So scared, so
Show your
So
nips
scary.
for some tips. Oh,
Oh,
yeah. But
Yeah.
I think I can speak for all of
What-
us when we say that we want to kind of encourage people to like just do their own thing. lah.
and
Tom?
what way would you want to go about it? Would you, like, I think we could do a weekly shout out on
Shout-out.
the Instagram.
Yeah. Well, we could do it on
So we'll do
Instagram.
it on the podcast as well.
Maybe tag a few
But like,
businesses
if we
pages.
if we don't do it every week on the podcast, we could definitely do it every week on Instagram.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to the podcast and you don't follow us on Instagram, go give us a follow.
Yep.
At Here's the Crack.
We probably will be reaching out to maybe it's the type of thing where, look, we're in a lockdown at the moment, a kind of lockdown. Obviously, we can't meet. So at the same time, I think if we were even to get a couple of people who ran a small business or something on the Zoom call for like 5 or 10 minutes to basically like
Yeah.
promote themselves, at the end of the day, it's kind of one of them things where everybody's just going through such a really weird, if you're like a business owner, like it's a bit funky, it's a bit of a weird time. And it's like, if we can just give a bit of help to someone, then at least we would feel good about ourselves whenever we go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
If you do, there is a fee, obviously. If you're going to be doing this, we're going to charge £150, and then we're going to promote it on Shay's OnlyFans. So there's a £150 fee called the Daddy Package, and if you feel like if you feel like you want to reach out to Shay's 2 subs on his OnlyFans, PayPal, Shay Cullen.
try
It-
200.
That was a
Even-
joke.
even
That
though-
was a joke, by the way. We will charge nothing. I'm scared that
Even-
Thomas is going to clip this on TikTok and people are going to be like, who do boys think they are trying to charge £150?
All the old ladies who follow us on TikTok.
Yeah. A student
Your
trying to
impro-
make
your
money.
impro- Your impersonations aren't on point today, are they? I
But
think
yeah,
what did you not have a cool name for it? No, was there not a wee catchy name you said about it? It was like
Sunday shoutouts or Saturday shoutouts or
yes, Sunday or Saturday shout outs.
well, you could literally do everything. You can do any day of the week. Monday mentions.
No, you can't.
Stop.
Stop while you're ahead.
But is there anything that you would add to that? Any of you, Isla?
I know, like I think like what we've said from the start, like like one of our first episodes was like we talked about how content creators in Northern Ireland are like starting to become more popular and like it's not as frowned upon as it would have been, but it still is. So like you want to sort of like help people out, no?
Yeah,
I
I'd
know
definitely like to
it's not-
encourage like people working together as well, like content creators in Northern Ireland working together to create bigger platforms, like bouncing off each other, you know,
Yeah. I
and
know
learning from each other really.
Yeah, I know we don't have the biggest platform at the minute, but like we're getting there, and you need to start somewhere. Like so,
I
yeah.
think if anything, like the likes of even your fella, like his name's left me. He has a Tesla and he joined Blue Peter, Adam B. The likes of him and stuff, like
Elon Musk.
He's from North he's from Northern Ireland and all, and it's like it just goes to show you that you can, like, if you're wanting to do whatever, it can be done. Obviously we don't have a big audience as of yet, but like we are growing thanks to TikTok and, you know, all the other things that we're using. So it's like if we can try and help people out. Shay's just getting loose for his OnlyFans live stream in 20 minutes.
I'm straight on off this.
Getting flexible and sexable.
If there's anything else you want to add?
Flexible Sundays.
Flexible Fridays.
We'll wrap it up there then. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
You enjoyed, like, subscribe, give our YouTube and
Join Chaz
Instagram a
OnlyFans.
follow.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks.